Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for Saturday the 29th of May 2021. And today there's not a lot going on in terms of news regarding Millwall, so what I thought I'd do is I'll do a stats video, end of season roundup of statistics. So if you're interested in that, keep watching. If you're not, might as well call it a day because you won't find anything interesting in this video. So having said that, here we go. This video was actually inspired by this story that was on the official Millwall website, millwallfc.co.uk, a couple of days ago, or yesterday. The season in stats 2020-21, a review of a one-of-a-kind campaign. So it says, now that the season has finished, millwallfc.co.uk, in association with Playmaker Stats, the club's official stats partner, dissects the season into statistics. With 15 wins, 17 draws and 14 defeats to their name, the Lions finished 11th in the table with 62 points. A total of 47 goals were scored, with 52 conceded, a final goal difference of -5. Yeah, that's good. Yep. The season began with a draw at home to Stoke City and ended with defeat at Coventry City. Yeah, 6-1 defeat. There was only one man to play in every minute of all 46 games, 4,140 minutes, and that was goalkeeper and back-to-back MSC Player of the Year winner Bartosz Białkowski. Hey. With the only other player in the division to achieve that feat being Queen's Park Rangers' Johan Barbet. So only 2 players in the league played every single minute of every single league game. One of them was Bart. Wow, that's amazing. Jed Wallace took the silver medal by being on the field for 3,842 minutes, with Jay Cooper taking bronze, playing 3,712 minutes. Sean Hutchinson, an ever-present until injury curtailed his campaign, and Ryan Woods completed the top 5. So those were the top 5 Millwall players in terms of minutes on the pitch. Bart, Jed, then Jake, then Sean Hutchinson, and then Ryan Woods. Jed Wallace finished the season as top goal scorer with 11 strikes to his name, and thank God he did. It's kind of sad that Jed Wallace, whatever he's like, right winger, whatever he is now, inside forward, is our top scorer with 11 strikes, and we don't have an actual striker who's banging the goals in. It's kind of worrying. 5 in front of the next in line, Mason Bennett, with lonely Scott Malone in 3rd place. In total, the Lions had 16 different goal scorers across the season, whilst 4 own goals were forced, the highest amount in the division. Wow, so we had the most amount of own goals awarded to us in terms of being scored in our favour. Jed also topped the assist chart, creating 5 goals, whilst Ryan Leonard finished second with 3 assists. That's not a lot at all, is it? That's really poor. That is really poor. A total of 7 players, including Cooper, John Daddy Budvarson, and Sean Williams, assisted twice. The club's 62 points were shared equally, with 31 coming from the Den and 31 on the road. 7 matches were won in SC16, with 10 drawn and 6 lost, while the Lions won 8 times on the road, drawing 7 and losing 8. So there you go, more wins away than at home. That's unusual. Well, what with the fans not being allowed in, we're all thinking that that's the reason behind that. Hopefully, when the fans come back in, that will be sorted out sharpish. Hopefully. Along with Swansea City and Reading, Millwall were one of only 3 teams to not receive a straight red card that season. Whilst the hottest time to score was between 31st and 45 minutes, the Lions hitting the back of the net 12 times during that particular period. So that's kind of interesting. So towards the end of the first half, we scored most of our goals. Okay. With regards to individual playing stats, 5 Lions placed in their top 10 of certain Sky Bet Championship statistical areas. Jed Wallace claimed the trio of second most successful dribbles, second most key passes, and third most prolific midfielder, scoring 11 times behind Emi Buendia and Arnold Danjuma. Biakowski, meanwhile, pulled off joint third most saves in the league. Well, if he's playing every minute of every game, then yeah, there you go. 119. Whilst Hutchinson made the fourth most interceptions. Cooper finished in the top 5 of most shots blocked with 32, whilst Malone ended joint 9th in the table of most passes blocked with 43. So there you go. So this story come out on the club website the other day. It's only had 343 views, but I viewed it and I thought, wow, that's I should do an end of season roundup in terms of stats and that. And that's what I'm going to do now with the help of mostly or exclusively the website experimental361.com. And this is a website that does a lot of graphs and visual images. And this one that I'm going to show you now is scatter graphics. So it compares different teams on various things. This one is in terms of, so you can see top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. So top left, quiet attack, busy defense. Top right, busy attack, busy defense. Bottom left, quiet attack, quiet defense. And bottom right is busy attack, quiet defense. And on all of these ones, I'll tell you now, Millwall are bang in the middle, bang in the middle. If you see the line under the underneath, it says shots taken per match, and Millwall about just 11.25, and shots faced per match, Millwall about 11.5. So pretty even in terms of defending and attacking. Shots we take, shots we give against. And you can see the two standout teams, Norwich and Brentford, are, so Brentford's defence is better than Norwich's because they face a lot less shots, between 8 and 9 shots per game, whilst Norwich were facing 11. But if you look at the top left, this is where you don't want to be, because all of these teams were struggling. Bristol City were really, really bad. Wickham, Sheffield Wednesday, Huddersfield, all teams that are struggling, either relegated or threatening to be relegated. So we're bang in the middle, just slightly towards the good area that you need to be. Busy attack, busy defense, but just averagely average really. And going down, so attack effectiveness, we've got ineffectual, energetically wasteful, languidly clinical, and a constant threat. So the constant threat is where you want to be, but we're kind of up into energetically wasteful. And yes, that is what we are. And you can see here, shots taken per match is the line going across. And again, bang in the middle, Millwall, at about 11.25. And shots taken per goal scored. So how many shots do we need to score a goal? Bang on 11. So if we take 11.25 shots per game, and it takes us 11 shots to score 1 goal, we're going to score 1 goal a game. So if we concede a goal, the best we can do is draw 1-1. That's why we had so many draws. So what the solution to that is get more clinical with your strikers, get a better striker in, or do something in terms of attack and play, or up the ante and just bombard the opposition with more and more shots. So if it takes us 11 shots to score a goal, we need to try and get 22 shots on the opposition per game, and then we'll get 2 goals. If we're just sticking to what we're doing now, if we get a bit lucky, we might get a few more goals. But if so, 22, or get more clinical. And you can see again in the top left quadrant, teams that are struggling: Derby, Wycombe, Sheffield Wednesday, Birmingham. Not where you want to be. And again, a standout team, really, really bad, Bristol City. Really, really bad. I think they're going to get relegated next season. They were in the past a bit of a yo-yo club between Championship and League One. I think they're heading there now again. And you can see here Norwich and Brentford again stand out. Blackburn as well. But Millwall bang in the middle. So going down now to defensive effectiveness. So we're doing a bit better on this one compared to the other teams, but still bang in the middle. Averagely average. Finished in the middle of the table, finished in the middle of these graphs. Shots faced per match, about 11.5. Shots faced per goal conceded, about 10.5. So there you go. Yeah, just so the quadrants are formidable. In terms of this is defense, formidable, competent but busy, avoiding the issue, pushovers. So Wycombe, Bristol City, Preston, not too good. Watford, very, very good. In terms of defence, they didn't concede a lot of goals. Didn't score too many, but didn't concede any at all. And in terms of keeping the opposition from shooting, Barnsley, Brentford, Middlesbrough, even Derby. So there you go. Again, Millwall bang in the middle. And expected goals. So you can see here, worse attack, worse defense, better attack, worse defense, worse attack, better defense, better attack, better defense. And so the line across the bottom here is expected goals created per match, and the one going up is expected goals allowed per match. So what the chances you create, the quality expected goal is the quality of the chance that you create. If you shoot from the halfway line, that's going to be a very low expected goal number, because you're not, how many times you're going to score from the halfway line. But if you score from like literally 6 inches, a little tap in from in the 6-yard box, that's going to be a high expected goal number, because you should be scoring them. So you can see here, bang in the middle, Millwall. Roughly about 1.2 and 1.2. 1.2 goals we're expected to score per game based on the chances you create, and 1.2 we're expected to concede based on the chances that we let the opposition get. So averagely average again, bang in the middle. You can see why we had so many draws. The defense and the attack pretty evenly matched against the opposition. So there's that. Moving on now, attacking threat breakdown by player. So this is expected goals. The one across the bottom is expected goals of value of shots taken per 90 minutes. That's per player. And the one going up is goals scored per 90 minutes. So you can see, bang in the sweet spot, Bradshaw. Matt Smith is not on here because he didn't play enough. Pardon me. He didn't play enough minutes. So you can see it excludes penalties. It excludes players who've played less than 25% of the season's minutes, and it excludes players who've taken less than 1 shot per 90 minutes. So 46 games a season, less than 1 shot. So probably good players who've done less than 46 shots. So you can see here, the blue shaded area is the sweet spot. If you're above that, you're doing very, very well. If you're below that, you are not doing very well. And I think it's this is a thing where the graphs show you what you already know, and you think, well, what's the point of that? But we all know John Daddy didn't have a very good season last season. We all know that Bradshaw he done all right, but the standout players are Mason Bennett above what he's above the blue line, Jed Wallace above the blue line. Oh yeah, and the bigger the bubble, that's how many minutes they've percentage of minutes they played. So like we just spoke about Bart Biakowski playing all the minutes. So the bigger the bubble is, the more minutes they played. So Bradshaw not had a lot of minutes compared to all the other players. He's banging a sweet spot. These other players just above the sweet spot. Jed Wallace, Mason Bennett, Scott Malone, even Ben Thompson. How many times did he come off the bench and score a much needed goal? Much needed goal. Something of a revelation. And he's getting a bit of stick for the way he plays, and he's not playing too often, probably because Gary Barrett doesn't rate him. But here you go. In terms of a goal threat, he's a goal threat, above average goal threat in terms of the shots he takes and the goals he makes, goals he scores. And we've got here Ryan there that he always likes to have a bit of a long shot from distance, and that's probably why he's below the line there. And he's not too prolific. He doesn't add too many decent chances. But you can see here, a standout, Bradshaw. So Bradshaw, the one along is, it's probably 0.35, and it goes up to 0.4. So if he was absolute bang on the sweet spot, he would be 0.4, 0.4 on the crosshairs of the graph there. So he's dragging a bit, but it's still decent. Maybe next season, if he gets to play, maybe if they set up some kind of system around him. But Gary Rowett's got some kind of obsession with Mason Bennett and Jed Wallace. He thinks that he can make them strikers. I don't know. It's weird. You have these managers who think they can like move a player position, and like, because they can see something that no one else can. Like they're some kind of mad geniuses. And well, maybe you just need to play a striker up front, and that striker, according to this, would be Tom Bradshaw. So there you go. Moving on now, rolling through it. This video is getting very long. It's up to 20 minutes already. So championship game states, and this measures how long each club has spent in each of the three main game states, and those are winning, drawing, and losing, and it's in percentages. And that's because he's included extra time. This website is run by one guy. I think it's Ben Mayu. So this one guy does all this stuff, and I get to share it with you guys. So you can see here, Millwall, they finished in 11th place, and we spent 21.1% of matches winning, 55.0% of the time drawing, and 23.9% of the time losing. And you can see the standout team was actually Watford, like I said, with their very good defense. They were not losing that much, 10.2, whereas Norwich had probably a better attack than Watford, but they spent a few more times losing. But you can see all of the top. So I think this is ranked in terms of. No, it's not ranked at all. I don't know why the teams are the way they are, because it's not really ranked. And maybe it's ranked. No, it's not, because the losing is higgledy-piggledy as well. So we spent 23.9% of the time losing. Yeah, like I say, it's saying average bang in the middle, isn't it? Well, it is what it is, self-evident, I think. Not a lot of time winning though. That is worrying. So you can see teams who finished way lower than us had similar. Bristol City, 19th they finished. Similar, exactly the same as us. Huddersfield, better than us, 22.8. They finished 20th. Derby, 22%, better than us. 22% of the time winning. 21st. So, and all the teams above us, if we want to do better, all better than us. Middlesbrough, 23.5. QPR, better. Cardiff, better. Barnsley, better. So, there you go. That's probably down to not having anyone who can score. If you can't score, you're not going to get in the lead, and you're not going to be in the winning position. So there's that one quickly. Not much going on there. So this one is footprints. The number of days that each team spent in each position. So this is days. So you can see here, let's scroll down to Millwall. So Millwall, we were never in the top two. Never in the top two. We spent 3 days in third, 1 day in fourth, 3 days in fifth, 4 days in sixth, and so on and so on. But you can see we spent most of our time last season, 9th, 10th and 11th, 38 days, 31 days, 52 days, and then even further down, when we were having a bit of wobble and we were struggling, and thought, are we going to be in a relegation battle? In terms of 16th, 35 days, 17th, 16 days. But again, still bang in the middle. We didn't spend any days of the season 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd or 24th. We didn't spend any days in those positions. None. And none in the top two. So all squeezed down in that middle. We were bang averagely middling team last season. And I think I've heard it on the Acton Millwall podcast, like the geezer on there he wasn't really happy because it's just a nothing season. We weren't really troubling the promotion playoffs. We had a bit of a go, but it was gone really early. We weren't really at the other end of the table, just bang in the middle. And he was saying, like, that's not really a Millwall season. Especially in this level, we're either struggling or pushing on. So there you go. And you can see here the teams that got relegated, Sheffield Wednesday, Wickham, they were just stuck at the bottom all year long. Rotherham had a bit of go in the middle and they just dropped down. Derby, look, they were stuck basically down the bottom all year as well, and they just managed to sneak out of it. There you go. But look at Barnsley. Barnsley were down in the bottom for a few, and then they just, when they changed their manager, they just zoomed up. Actually flew up there. And two teams were in the top half of the table all season long, and that was Watford and Bournemouth. Even Swansea spent like 1 day in 21st, but I think that's like at the start of the season. But he's still counting it for some reason. But so there you go. Yeah. So it says here Barnsley were the most mobile club this season, occupying 20 out of 24 possible positions at the end of the season. Wow. But Millwall, middling. So I'm going to finish up now with the squad age profiles. So it's a bit of like a Rorschach test, like an ink block picture where they tell you what can you see. And here you go, you got the ages of the players starting from 18 or under and 30, 35 and over at the top. So you can see here, Millwall, a big blob in the middle between 25 years old and 29 years old. Then a couple of players, I imagine that's probably Sean Williams, Alex Pearce and Bart Biakowski in their mid-30s. And there you go, not very many youngsters there. It's spindly at the bottom. But you can see, comparing that to other players, other clubs, Cardiff, hardly any players over 30. Barnsley as well. Barnsley, how well they did. Hardly any players over 30. One player is 30 years old, I think. Very small amount of 30. Mostly in their lower 20s and mid 20s. But there you go. It's not pretty unique situation that Millwall were in. You compare them to anyone, it would probably be Preston that we look the most similar to. And then maybe Brentford as well, maybe. But Gary Rowett did say he's trying to get the average age of the squad down. That was one of the reasons for letting Sean Williams go, but then he offers a contract to Alex Pearce. But even though a lot of fans don't rate Alex Pearce anymore, don't think he's championship quality, he still offered him a contract, which apparently he's agreed. We'll see. Maybe it gets announced by the club on Monday, or maybe not because it's bank holiday. Maybe Tuesday. But there you go. But we've got players like Aidan Muller, Alex Mitchell, Isaac Olofi. Yeah, who could come into the team and bring that average age down? Who knows? That's the average age of the squad compared to the rest of the league. Okay. So that's it for today's video. If you're still watching, well done. Thank you so much. Bye bye.